A new age of storytelling is upon us. My name's Matt and I'm from Discovery Church, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to do great face-to-screen videos, how to take videos that are going to be able to engage your audience, tell your story, particularly in this new day that's ahead. Did you know that in 3 years, experts are predicting that over 80% of social media content will be on video? Over 80% of social media content will be moving pictures with audio. Over 80%. That's a lot. That's a lot of content that's going to be that's going to change the way that you and I act. Now, when I first did this masterclass, it was before the coronavirus had hit us. It was before COVID-19. Before that was even a thing, and yet it was in that time that we thought, well, there's a real need to be able to start to present to camera in a new way. And this was a masterclass that we filmed for the team at Discovery. But now that the pandemic is upon us and we've seen all of our churches move to online forms of expression and forms of worship and forms of gathering, this content is more crucial than ever. And so that's why we're going to be spending time talking about this today. The first thing that I want to encourage you with is this. When you film your face to camera video, the first thing you want to think about is, what is it for? What is it for? Because this will radically determine what happens after that point. Will this be a highly professional video that's been edited and that's been really produced and has lots of camera angles and lots of shoots? Or is it going to be a simple encouragement that you're sending to your team or to your volunteers on your phone? What is it for? So when you're thinking about the video, when you're thinking about shooting something, or you're thinking about filming anything at all, first think about its purpose, the why of what it is that you're doing. Knowing your audience is super duper important. It may even change your language. It may change the way that you say things. It may change the way that you frame it. It may change the location that you use. What is it for? The second thing is this: make sure you've got something to say. When there's no point in shooting a video when you don't have actually anything to say. Now you might be thinking, well, a lot of these concepts you're lifting straight from public speaking, and that is, in one sense, it's true, but it's also been nuanced in a way because we don't have the same leeway on video as we do when it is live. Make sure you have something to say. What is it that you're going to be bringing to your audience? How is it going to be able to capture them in the first 3 seconds of the video to make sure they don't just scroll on by and keep on going through their content to the rest of the things that are going on? Make sure you've got something to say. The third one would be this: establish a time frame. What kind of time frame are you going to use for this video? Is it going to be 15 seconds so it can fit inside of an Insta story? Is it going to be a minute so that it can fit inside of an Instagram post? Is it going to be 15 minutes long so that you're going to have to think about how to manage that in terms of all the different ways that you can present something today? Is it going to be something that you load up onto YouTube that's going to sit there and then you can post a link? What is the time frame that you want to aim for? Now, you and I both know that videos or any kind of speaking can blow out really, really quickly. That time when you ask someone to shoot a small video about something that happened or to tell a story that happened, and you say, I want it to be 2 minutes, and then they send you back something that's 5 minutes long. That can happen so easily and so quickly, so we've got to choose our words and make sure that we can fit the video inside of the established time frame. The fourth thing is this: think about the structure. Think about how it's going to be structured and where your beginning, your middle, and your end is inside of your video. Imagine you were going to be talking about belonging, and you began your video by saying this: today, I want to talk to you about belonging. That's one way to do an introduction, and that's one way to start a video. But at that point in time, you might have lost a little bit of your audience. But imagine if you started a video that was like this. It was same thing, same topic. It was about belonging, but you said this: have you ever wondered why you don't fit in? All of a sudden it's a question, it puts someone on the back foot. It's also a bit provocative because people will think, well, yeah, I don't fit in, or hold on, I do fit in. And so you've automatically got them just by the first sentence that you use in your video. Think about your structure. Think about your why and try and lead with a statement. Lead with a statement that talks about your why. Then move to where or when after that. Now, when it comes to actually presenting, so that was just four initial thoughts, and now I just want to talk a little bit about presenting. When it comes to presenting, it's important to realize that what you are doing when you shoot a video like this one, it's a performance. It's a performance. But the Lord spoke to me at the beginning of this pandemic and said, Matt, don't worry, because performing isn't pretending. One of the things that you might think is, oh, I'm performing it so it's not real. I'm performing it so it's not authentic. No, it's authentic and it's real. It's happening. It's happening to you. It's just happening in a way that that is a little bit, can feel a little bit artificial. It can feel a little bit strange. And so when you're presenting, it's important to remember that it's a performance, but performing is not pretending. It's not pretend. It's actually really happening. Somebody is looking at you through a screen that's also been through a whole bunch of cables, that's been captured through a lens, and then somewhere on the other side of that, there is you making this performance or bringing this message. So you want this to be as impacting as it possibly can be. So the one thing that I'm going to encourage you to do that might feel a little bit weird is to overact. Now this is something that actors know, or theater performers know, or stage performers know. Somewhere in the distance between what it is that you're presenting and the message that you're bringing and the way that people receive it, it's somewhere in that gap is an experience where what you think you're putting out is actually a lot less energetic and lively than what happens and what they receive on the other end. You might think that you've just bought an absolute blockbuster performance. You've got an Academy Award coming at you, and then you watch it back on the other side and you think, man, why am I so sad? Why am I so dull? What's happened? It's so important to remember. You've just got to bring that little bit, that probably 20, 30% extra than how you actually feel is going to make it feel authentic on the other side. When you're presenting with another person, now this is in a non-coronavirus time, you want to be standing as close together as possible, because when you're standing with somebody and on a screen, it actually makes you look further apart than you actually are. Standing closer together. Clothing's important. And now I've broken this rule today because I'm wearing a striped shirt that the cameras don't love. Cameras don't love striped shirts like this. They don't like check shirts. Block colors is really, really good. So clothing's important. Smiling's important. Lighting's important. Make sure that if you're doing a video that's on your phone, make sure you've got a window in front of you, not behind you, so that we can actually see your face. So there's a whole bunch of things there that you can be thinking about when it comes to presenting to the screen. If you're using a multiple camera shoot, make sure you realize which one is the main camera that you're going to be looking at. Is it this one here? Is it this one here? Is it this one here? Which camera is the one that's going to be camera one? In a lot of studios, they'll have a little light that tells you, but it's important for us to remember. So when it comes to telling your story, and it comes to you positioning yourself as somebody who's going to be able to speak with a message into our current context, speaking to camera is unavoidable. It's not something where you can put your fingers in your ears and say, well, it doesn't apply to me, I'll never have to do it. The day this new age of storytelling is upon us, whether we like it or not. The shift that we've got to make as pastors, as leaders, on our teams is just getting used to the fact that we're going to be showing up on people's screens time and time and time again. I bet that you're already sick and tired of Zoom. You've already seen so many little boxes with people's faces on them in the last 8 weeks, but it's only going to continue. These days that are ahead of us are brave and bold days, and they require brave bravery and boldness to move into them together. I believe that you can do it. I believe that the church again can take a place in media and in the entertainment world, in the media world, in the storytelling space that is brave, that is bold, that is bright, and it's bringing the message and the hope of Jesus. And I want you to do that with me. I would love us to be able to do that together. So I hope that these thoughts have helped you today, and pray that the next season for you in this new age is full of hope and full of brightness as we move forward into this kingdom together. In Jesus' name.